There is never a reason to skip your personal development process. I've told you guys, the early wake up, the reading and reflecting, the training, the macronutrients, and no drugs or alcohol consumed is what I refer to as my removal process. Everyone always asks me, why do you train every day? Why do you get up so early? Why do you do these things every day? What do you gain from it? It's not what you're set to gain. Honestly, it's what you get rid of. It's what you remove. The whole point is that humans are very conscious beings already. We're already very intuitive. We're already tapped into God, and we know that our conscience is the authentic voice of God. But the point is the sensory world that was created distracts us. Everything you guys consume, all the added things that you consume in your life, distract you from the voice inside. So what? You wake up early to show God that you're grateful for the life you've been given. You read wisdom that is infinite intelligence, wisdom of the ages, from the top people who've been tapped into the message for a long time, since the dawn of time. And those messages bring you back to what you already know. We already know everything. It's not about what new knowledge you're going to intake. It's about remembering what we already know. Like I've told you guys before, wisdom is never about what to do. It's more about what not to do. The stuff we should do is very simple. So the early wake up, the reading and reflecting, the training since the dawn of time to tap into the message above and hear God speak into your heart. People have gone on these long treks, testing themselves, pushing themselves to the limit as an offering above, saying, hey, I'm worthy of this message that I'm wishing to download from you. God, please speak to me in my heart. The same thing goes for the macronutrients that I have you eat. The deficit you're going to be in is sacrificial. These cultures since the dawn of time as well, they weren't just sacrificing animals because they were sick in the fucking head. What they were doing was giving their food away. Once you start giving your food away, once you start limiting your intake, that'll be you saying, I'm not going to take so much. I'm not going to intake so much to where I'm numb to the voice inside and the message that I'm trying to bring in. The fasting. So long, arduous treks, fasting, solitude, the reading, training that's done in a state that's intentional to absorb knowledge, and then no drugs or alcohol. This is my daily process of removal. What am I removing? I'm removing everything that I learned that made me the less conscious version of Wes Watson. Everything I learned that is a flaw that you guys see in me that I'm trying to harness and turn into an asset, all that is removed through my process. Only when I'm more of Wes Watson, more of the ego, do I step into these traits that someone would see as less attractive, less desirable. They were actually acquired mostly for survival. So anybody who has these traits that are not so desirable, that shows that they're being less conscious at that moment. There was a time in their life where they had to use these traits for survival, or they thought. So I'm telling you guys, stop coming into your workout thinking of the muscle you're going to gain. Stop going into your diet thinking about the fat you're going to lose and the confidence you're going to gain. These are byproducts. Yes, we want to understand the byproducts, but what if we came into this process saying, I need to train hard so that I remove these less desirable traits in myself? For some of you guys, you may be the opposite of me. lacking confidence, feeling like it's not going to work out in life, all these things. So it's a removal process, a process of removing everything that's keeping you from being at your naturally conscious state that a human exists in. I need you guys to understand, if you go for this reason, you'll show up every day. I need my process to bring me to where I need to be, where I'm tapped into God, and I know that life is not all this other shit. But then in turn, I get the physique, I get the money, I get the life, and it was through a process of removing everything that was keeping me from being intuitive enough to attract it. You were chasing it. That which we chase runs. You're chasing it because you see everyone else in the sensory world who's not in their massive conscious state chasing. But humans naturally attract. Humans naturally know. Humans are naturally operating from an extremely high frequency. Your frequency is the way you perceive the world. Vibration is how we feel. So as long as we do everything that our conscience calls us to do, we'll operate at that high frequency that sees us living this moment perfectly. Once we're living this moment perfectly, we'll feel like we deserve everything this life has to offer because we've walked in alignment with God's fucking wishes for us. And now everything is going to start coming into fruition in the sensory world, because in the spiritual environment, we're who we must be. Life is not about appearing and acquiring, no matter how much stupid shit you see me have. It's about being and becoming. And the man who's become something different, the man that's being in the moment, who he needs to be to attract, he has all these things. And that's why when people denounce the things and they do that spiritual bypassing bullshit, I know they haven't reached their spiritual pinnacle ever throughout any days, really. Maybe they stumble across it, but they don't have an intentional process. Because if they had a daily intentional process for any duration of time, they would have attracted everything they want into their life as a byproduct of being so tapped in spiritually. I love you guys. Love you guys. I need you guys to realize it's all a test. The stuff you're going through that some people are telling you to skip over, you can't. That's part of your test, part of your path. You're supposed to just walk it and understand it. It's going to keep coming until you correctly react to it, or no reaction. But everything is a reaction. No reaction is still a reaction. So the point is to absorb, understand, articulate, and teach. So become the man that you've always wanted and you admire, and give that man to the world. You guys, I love you. Let's go!